We all like to think we're in the driver's seat of our own minds, making these perfectly rational decisions. But what if there's a secret puppeteer pulling the strings? In this explainer, we're going to uncover the secrets of how our brains are quietly, constantly shaping our reality.
So, let me ask you a question, right off the bat. Is your brain telling you the whole truth, the objective, unfiltered reality? Or is it feeding you a version of the world that's just a little bit easier, faster, and maybe more comfortable for you to process? The answer? Well, it might surprise you.
And this really sets the stage perfectly. It's not that your brain is malicious or anything, but it's developed some, well, let's call them interesting habits. Think of them less as flaws and more as features, shortcuts that were designed for survival, but in our modern world, they can sometimes lead us way off track.
So, let's get into it. We're going to pull back the curtain on 3 of the most common and powerful ways your mind bends reality, often without you even noticing a thing.
Ready to see how the magic works? Let's start with a big one. This is a trick that shapes everything, from the news you watch to the people you trust.
All right, trick number 1 is confirmation bias. This is one of the heavy hitters in the world of cognitive biases for sure. And once you see it, I'm telling you, you'll start noticing it absolutely everywhere.
Okay, so think of your brain as a biased bouncer at a nightclub. It rolls out the red carpet for any piece of information that confirms what you already think. Oh, you agree with me? Come on in. But any info that challenges your beliefs? Nope, it gets turned away at the door. No questions asked.
It's almost like your brain puts this giant, bright spotlight on anything it agrees with. That makes it feel important and true and just obvious. Meanwhile, anything that contradicts you, the lights go way down. It's so easy to just dismiss it as irrelevant or wrong or just noise.
Okay, so that was the first trick, and it's all about reinforcing what we already believe. But this second trick, this one is all about our emotions and our memories.
And here it is, trick number 2, the negativity bias. If you've ever had a fantastic day completely tanked by one single, tiny negative thing, well, then you've experienced this trick firsthand. The definition is pretty straightforward, but the effect it has on us is profound. Our brains are literally hardwired to give more weight to bad news and negative events. And this isn't some design flaw, it's an ancient survival tool. Think about it. For our ancestors, ignoring a potential threat, that rustle in the bushes, could be fatal. Ignoring a pretty flower? No big deal. That instinct is still with us. And this quote just hits home, doesn't it? You could get 100 likes on a photo, 100 compliments on a project, but it's that one negative comment that sticks in your head, the one you replay over and over. Yep, that's the negativity bias in action, just hijacking your emotional spotlight. I mean, just look at the difference in the emotional weight here. It isn't even close. Our brains treat negative stuff as heavy and urgent, like pay attention to this right now. But positive stuff, it often feels light and fleeting. It's a system built for survival, not necessarily for modern-day happiness.
Okay, so we've seen how our brains filter information and how they weigh emotions. But this last trick, this one is all about our perception of power and influence over the world around us.
Our final trick is called the illusion of control. And this one explains so much about human behavior, from our little superstitions all the way to our belief in Lucky Charms.
See, our brains just crave a sense of agency. We need to feel like we're in charge of what happens. So this bias gives us that comforting feeling, even when events are completely random or totally outside our influence. This is such a perfect example, right? Logically, deep down, we know a piece of clothing has zero, and I mean zero, impact on a professional sports game. But our brain creates this little connection, this story that makes us feel like we're participating, like we have some small sliver of control over a totally chaotic outcome. So, we've uncovered these 3 really powerful biases: confirmation, negativity, and the illusion of control. But what's the secret sauce that makes them all so effective? It all comes down to one final, really crucial idea.
And it all comes down to this: the automatic brain. This is the operating system running in the background, the director behind the scenes making all of this happen without you even knowing.
And here's the real kicker. The most important part of this whole thing, this is not a conscious process. You don't wake up and decide to look for confirming evidence or decide to dwell on that negative comment. It just happens. Your brain is running these programs silently, efficiently, and completely without your permission. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here.
These tricks aren't character flaws. They're not signs of weakness. They are simply shortcuts. They're called heuristics that our brains evolved to make sense of a really complex world really quickly. They are the brain's default settings.
So we'll leave you with this one final thought. Just being aware of this, that's the first step. You can't stop these tricks from happening automatically, but now you know the script. You know what to look for. So the next time you feel that little pull of bias, can you catch it? Can you notice the trick as it's being played? Because that is where the real power lies, in catching your own brain in the act.